want to make sure everything is in order. So good afternoon once again, and welcome to those here and online to the Martin Luther King Student Center at Delaware State University for the official introduction of the newest Delaware State Hornet staff members, women's basketball head coach Yaconda E.C. Hill, and men's basketball head coach Stan Waterman. We can give them a little bit of, yeah. A few years ago, our athletic slogan was go big, go bold, go Hornets. And then a couple of years later, we coined the slogan, make a statement. As we sit here today, either one of those slogans could apply to what's taking place in our athletics department and at Delaware State University at large. Coming off a year in which the university and our department stood tall in the face of the pandemic and other big issues, these big and bold coaching hires that we're celebrating today affirm that the Hornets are daring to make a statement here in the state, the region, the nation, and the world. At this time, I want to introduce a young lady, she's young to me, who is capably heading our athletics department during this critical time. In addition to serving as interim director of athletics, she's our senior woman administrator, and last year took on the additional challenge of a newly created NCAA position as the department's diversity and inclusion designee. I want to present to you, for some remarks, DSU's interim director of athletics, Alicia Shields-Gatson.
Thank you. Today is a great day to be a Hornet. As we continue to celebrate the 130th anniversary of Delaware State University, we are blessed to have athletics to share in such a storied history. Today marks a milestone as we move toward blazing new trails into the Department of Athletics by welcoming two new outstanding individuals to lead the way. I'd like to take the time to thank some individuals that have participated on the respective committees and commend them for their tireless work today as it represents the fruits of their labor. As we prayerfully await the end of this pandemic, we all welcome the return to campus in the fall and the excitement that comes with competition. To coaches EC and Stan, I say welcome to the Hornet Nation. And to all, we look forward into ushering in a new chapter in the history of men's and women's basketball here at DSU. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. These are some extraordinary times here at Delaware State, and these times require extraordinary leadership. We're grateful here at DSU to be led by such an individual who's been recognized as one of the top leaders in our state. I could be here the rest of the day discussing all the great things that have happened under Dr. Allen's leadership, but I think I know him well enough that he wants today to be about these coaches and setting a tone for success, and then we get back to work to making this university the best that it can be. So at this time, I want to present our president, Dr. Tony Allen.
Thank you, Dennis, and you're right, it's all about we. This is a great, great institution built on 130 years of we. And I couldn't be more proud today to welcome two new Hornets who I had the opportunity to interview. And I asked them both, first question, asked them, tell me your tradition, your philosophy of winning. Whatever that is to you, tell me your philosophy of winning. Neither started with what was going to happen on the court. Neither started with what was going to happen on the court. It was about character, integrity, building young men and women to come out of the most diverse contemporary HBCU in the country. My friends, you don't just have leaders in Coach Hill and Coach Waterman, you have champions. And what I'm going to need from the entire Hornet community is your ardent and clear support of where they're going to take this program and how they're going to represent this university. I think you all know that this is a special place, and it requires special, special people. So from the time that Alicia Gatson took over interim athletic director and headed both searches, I knew that we were in good hands. When all the committee members from both searches were made up of former basketball players, alumni, and stakeholders to the university, I knew we were in good hands. When I got a call from my vice chair, John Ridgway, who was an alumni, I knew we were in good hands. And when I was able to say to Cleon Cawley, my COO, who helped me interview those fine candidates in the last round, that we have 2 champions, I knew we were in good hands. Coach Hill, I can't thank you enough for choosing Delaware State University. What you bring to this institution is going to change the lives of those young women in ways that they have not yet known or seen. And I can tell you your biggest fan is right there, my Tara. So she won't criticize. She'll make some food for the girls. She'll be at every game. And she is deeply, deeply excited. So thank you for choosing us. And to my brother, Stan Waterman, I don't really know what to say. Stan graduated a year before I got at the University of Delaware, but I knew his legend. And then I watched him shape a program, the likes of which you really haven't seen in the country. I dare you to name a couple of coaches of his caliber that coached USA basketball, had 10 state title appearances, and won 8 chips. And I bet you when he gets up here, you know what he's going to talk about? We. What we looks like, what we feel like. And Stan, I want to thank you too for choosing Delaware State University. It's a special place, and my friends, we just got 2 very, very special people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Allen, and for your leadership and guiding us through some very challenging times, and better times are ahead. We're looking forward to it. Our first new head coach here, I met her for the first time today in my office, and she just came in as if she'd known us all her life, embraced the whole process. We had her in our hot office taking pictures, and she didn't complain about anything. She's ready to go. So after a stellar career at Northern Illinois University, Ms. Hill played for 2 teams in the American Basketball League, a professional league, and also in the WNBA. She joined the Delaware State staff after serving the last couple of years at Towson University over in Maryland. From 2011 to 16, she was an assistant coach at the University of Arizona in the Pac-10. Her legend at NIU Athletics, she's in the Hall of Fame there and in the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame, and helped lead the Huskies to 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances. She's a 1995 grad of Northern Illinois University. I am honored to present the new head women's basketball coach at Delaware State University, Akonda E.C. Hill. Dr. Allen and Alicia.
Thank you. Welcome. I know you
Dr.
know
Allen.
I put it on.
Yeah.
You can hold it. Well, I don't want to mess my hair up, so I'm keeping it. And this is really just for picture purposes. Thank you. I'm taking pictures of this picture. Okay. Well, thank you. I'm happy I'm going before you, because all that, I couldn't follow. I couldn't follow all that. But thank you. I am so excited. It's a blessing to coach young women in any level, in any type, or any sport. But it's extra special to have the opportunity to coach at the HBCU, and I don't take that lightly. I want to thank a few people before I give a little background about myself. President Allen, thank you. Alicia Gasson, thank you for the whole 2 weeks that you drilled me. So thank you. Sion Colley, thank you. The Women's Basketball Committee, thank you. I would like to thank my parents. They're not here, but they're watching all the way back from Chicago, and they are so excited. My daughter, please stand. I'm going to embarrass you right now. Yes. Yes, it's my daughter. Asia Janae Murray, who is my social media tutor, my TikTok partner, and my rock. So I appreciate all the support you give me, because we've been through this journey of coaching all across the country, and you never complain. You just like, where the food at? As long as we have food, we're good. So thank you. My mentors. I was fortunate to have a village of women, older women, that have been mentoring me the whole process of when I got into coaching. And that's one is Monique Bernuti, who is at Northern Illinois, who I met as a freshman coming in.
who had made a major impact on my life and who still guided me along the way. Tracy G., a good friend, a sorority sister, who I leaned on a lot. Diane Richardson, my former boss at Townsend, who taught me so much besides just on the court stuff, but the business of women's basketball, the business of being a leader. And I still lean on her a lot, and she's so excited. She's actually watching right now, probably crying, and I'm glad she's not here today, because I will be crying too. My college coach, Jane Albright, who took a little girl from the south side of Chicago and gave her an opportunity to play basketball at a high level, and I thank her. One more person is Robin Moore, my high school teammate in Chicago, Whitney Young High School. Whitney Young is like one of the schools that everybody in Chicago want to go to, and I was a sixth grader playing with the high school at an early age, and Robin took care of me, put her under the wing, and she went on to play at Northwestern. So, see, coaches always make an impact on young women's lives, and those women did that for me. I am so excited to be part of the new era of Delaware State athletics. Stan and I, we have opportunity to change things and set a new standard of winning in the classroom and on the court. So we got some work to do, right?
Yes, we do.
All right. So, but going through the process of the interview for 2 weeks, I fell in love with Delaware State. More and more as I do my homework, I fell more in love. I'm a woman of passion and faith and service, and that's why I'm here. I learned the motto on campus: enter to learn, go forward to serve, and that's what I'm here to do, to serve my players, athletically, academically, and socially. And this is their last stop for the real world, so I have to make sure they're ready. And make sure, because you know what, those ladies are gonna be taking care of me one day, and I'm gonna make sure they do it right. They do it right. So I just want to say thank you. A little bit more about me, about basketball. Offensively, I'm an up-tempo type of coach, but I got to make sure. I might want to play that up-tempo style, but I have to make sure I adjust it with the personnel I inherited and make sure they have a great opportunity and they're ready to play. But one thing for sure, you will make sure they will be ladies on and off the court, and they will be ambassadors of the university. And they have to remember one thing: wherever you are on this campus or in the world, in the community, the logo never comes off, and always somebody's watching. So I just want to say thank you. Appreciate it. If you have any questions for me, I turn it over back to Dennis. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome once again, Coach Hill. Stan Waterman, championship man. We were taking some shots in the office this morning, and we take different shots with their standing up, sitting down, with a basketball, with a net. And man, after 8 championships, my man knows how to take pictures with a net. I mean, he had it around his neck, on his shoulder. He was doing it. I said, okay, this guy, he knows what he's doing. He's led Sanford High School in Delaware to 571 wins. How many wins that is when you consider you only play in high school maybe 25 or so games a year, 30 if you go all the way, and that's a lot. 10 state championship appearances and 8 titles, including the last 2 full championship tournaments in 2019 and 2021. Also served as Sanford's Dean of Students since 1993 and assistant director of athletics at the school. He was an assistant for USA basketball. Also, Delaware through and through. Howard High School player and graduate, helped lead that school to a championship even in high school. And as I shared with Stan and his wife, the 2 times I think we've been in the same space, I was rooting against him. Because 2 of those championships were against Dover High School, which is where my kids attend, and they dragged Dad to the game, and I'm rooting against this guy. So I said, I'm tired of rooting against you. I want to root for you now, because you win all the time I see you play. So I'm excited and honored to present to you as the new head men's basketball coach at Delaware State University, Stan Waterman.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. This is an incredibly exciting day for me, for my family, and I hope for Delaware State University and Delaware State University basketball program. Before I get into talking a little bit about myself and my background, I'd also like to throw out a few bouquets and thank a few people who have been very instrumental in getting to this point. Beginning with Dr. Tony Allen, thank you so much for trusting me and giving me an opportunity to be here. Our COO, Mr. Cleon Cawley, thank you. Our athletic director, Alicia Gatson, certainly we appreciate you, and also the members of the search committee. You all did a fantastic job. I can only imagine the caliber of candidates that you had to choose from, with Delaware State University on the rise and making a name across the country the way that you have. It is a very, very desirable position to be in, and I'm excited to be coming on board and being a part of this family. Again, as I said, this is an incredible opportunity for me to live out my dream of being a Division I college basketball coach. And I think if you were to poll high school coaches across the country, you probably couldn't find one who wouldn't tell you that somewhere in the back of their mind that every day, or at least at some point of the day, they might have dreamed about being on the sidelines and leading and having the charge and the responsibility of heading a Division I college basketball program. So I'm living my dream. Today, my dream is coming true. This is a dream job for me. I want to give a special thank you to my friends, my family, former players, teachers, coaches, colleagues, who have all been instrumental in helping me get to this point. And when I look at this room and see the support from people that I now consider my colleagues, guys and women and men that I hope to be working alongside of, and maybe calling on you for support and advice, and asking you to share some of your knowledge and wisdom, I'm excited about that. And I think the presence of the people in this room assures me that there's the support and the resources here to achieve and accomplish the goals that we will establish for the basketball program. The text messages, the email messages, the phone calls that I've received over the last few days, unbelievable, from alums all across the country, local, and I'm a native Delawarean. I'm a person born and raised in the city of Wilmington, as was already stated, went to high school here, continued my education up the road in Newark and the University of Delaware, and yeah, hopefully at some point, Rick, don't get disappointed in that. We got a University of Delaware guy, one of my former teammates out there, but again, it really does just assure me that the support that we will need to take this program to the next level and place it on par with Dr. Allen's vision of having Delaware State University become the premier HBCU in the country. That's a goal. That's a vision of mine. How do we do that? I think the first thing I'd like to do, and Coach Hill, let me congratulate you. Let me back up and congratulate you on being named our new women's head coach, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to work alongside you, and I'm sure we will have conversations about setting goals and how we hope to achieve them. But we want to establish a culture. I heard somebody say a new day, a new era, and that's indeed what it is. I'm hopeful that we will be able to create and establish a culture where we would do things with what I call championship standards. And as Dr. Allen said in the beginning, I'm not talking about from the scoreboard. And in my interview process, I mentioned 4 C's that that I said we would focus on as we try to build a foundation and establish goals in this program. Classroom, obviously they're all student athletes, and that's where it begins. And I think the ultimate goal when we have young men and women come here would be the end goal is to receive that diploma. So in the classroom, we want to make sure we're competing. Just as you guys hate to lose on the court and on the fields, we want to be competing for the highest test scores in the classrooms and things of that nature. In the community, we want to build a relationship, foster a partnership with the community that we will have the support not only from Delaware State community, but from the local community, the city of Dover, the state of Delaware, the city of Wilmington. My vision is to have Delaware, the state of Delaware, behind DSU and supporting us and encouraging us and partnering with us to achieve the goals that I mentioned that Dr. Allen has already established for us. On the court, obviously, hopefully you will see a product, and Coach has kind of described her philosophy of what her teams look like and what her style of play might look like. I like to play fast and up-tempo as well, too, but I think one of the keys to the success that we've had, or I've had in the past, is that we've been able to play at 2 speeds. And we want to play fast, we want to get the ball out and have some exciting brand of basketball, but there are times when the pace is slow, the tempo is a little bit different, and you have to be able to execute in the half-court set. So you'll see, I hope that you will see a good combination, a good mixture of basketball that will be entertaining, that will be fun, but most importantly, producing and educating and leading and mentoring young men who will represent this fine university the right way, the way it deserves to be represented. I want to give a special thank you, and I'm going to ask a couple people to stand. My wife is here today. Robin, would you please stand? 32 years of marriage, and I don't have, I used to joke and kiddingly say that she was my director of basketball operations, but on the high school level, because she was has always been a part and supported me in everything that we do, always in the stands, sometimes at practices, most of the times at practices, but team mom, supporting us in any way possible, and the success that we have had, I will say we have had, I owe a great deal of gratitude to you, and I certainly appreciate you, and I appreciate you being a part of this and being along with me in this venture. So thank you, and I love you. My daughter, Paris, Paris is in the room, and quite a fine athlete, and I'm just going to brag a little bit while she's here. My daughter actually was in 2007, was the Delaware State Athlete of the Year, was a first team All-Stater, lacrosse, basketball, and field hockey. Played a little bit of basketball and lacrosse at Brown University, so quite a student as well, and actually earned a spot on the USA national team, on the lacrosse team. So I couldn't let that go without acknowledging that, so I wanted to throw that out there. My son-in-law, Vernon, was in the room with my newest prized possession, my grandson, Cairo. Hopefully you all will have a chance to meet them. But I say all of that just to make sure that everybody understands me as a person, and family is huge to me. Family is important in everything that I do. And I hope to bring that to Delaware State University basketball. We're going to be a family, and there are coaches and players here. I've had the opportunity already. I've been reaching out to the former or the returning players and had a chance to conversate. I wanted to introduce myself and have them have a chance to talk, and we started that process already. I think the immediate goal for me right now, again, is to get to know our players and have them get to know me, kind of get a feel for where we are and what directions we need to go in, have an assessment of the roster that we have, establish and put together a coaching staff that will help achieve the goals that we will set once we have a chance to figure out what direction we're going. But to come back and full circle, I guess I'm going to finish where I started when I said that, again, this is an incredible, incredible day for me and an incredible opportunity for me. I'm so excited to be a part of Delaware State University, and I say that to you, if you understand, if anybody has any experience, I'm coming or leaving a program where I've been for 30 years. And hadn't done anything different. I've done the same thing as a dean of students, as the athletic director, and as a basketball coach for the last 30 years. But I'm really excited about the new opportunities and the new ventures, and again, making sure or doing my best to ensure that Delaware State University basketball, again, is on par with the awesome, awesome leadership by Dr. Tony Allen in the direction that the university is heading, again, in becoming the premier HBCU in the country, academically, socially, and then because we're in this athletic banquet or facility on the basketball court. Thank you, and I'll take questions. Certainly we'll take questions at the end if anybody has them. Thank you all.
Thank you, Coach Hill and Coach Waterman. We're going to postpone the media question and answer session at this time. We're going to close out this session. We'll take care of the media in a little bit. But if you guys don't mind, those of you who can, just have a little Delaware State Hornet rousing standing ovation for our new head coach. Those of you who are able, how about a big hand for these folks? Yeah. I tell you now, I know on college campus you're not supposed to use ain't. Ain't no love like Hornet love though. I'm telling you, you guys will love it here. Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge a few folks. John Ridgway from our Board of Trustees is here. Any other board members here as well? I want to acknowledge you. Members of the admin council members, raise your hand if you're here. Thank you. And what else am I supposed to do now? Committee members, those from the men's and women's committees. Those, I know we had a photo op earlier, but want the rest of the audience to see you guys. And thank you so much for the hard. I'm sorry. And yeah, we're getting there now. bosses, I'm done. No, I love them. Yeah, she keeps us in order. But our head coaches, we have a great group of head coaches. I know Alicia mentioned a few things, and Dr. Allen as well, but being in athletics during a pandemic and all that we went through and how well our teams performed and went by the rules and everything, we had a pretty darn good year, not just in wins and losses, but just how Delaware State responded to everything that went down during this year. We got a lot of exposure from whether it was ESPN. We had a young lady win a national championship in bowling, a golfer that won a HBCU championship. We had a lot of good things happen. Volleyball team went to the championship for the tournament for the first time. Track and field is moving up. I mean, even the sports that are not necessarily affiliated with conference, like soccer, baseball, and softball had good years. Everyone bought into what we were trying to do this year. This was a challenging year, thanks to the leadership here at Delaware State University. So welcome to you guys. We really look forward to you guys being around and being part of the Delaware State University family. So at this time, we're going to close out, and you're welcome to meet and greet our folks here, Mr. Waterman and Coach Hill, and for some photo ops and everything. But as I said, we'll deal with the media side afterwards. We want to make sure these folks get a chance to welcome you in a Delaware State Hornet way. So thank you guys once again for coming out. Have a good day. There's some food in the back for those who want to.